I had always been a fan of late-night walks, finding solace in the quiet, the cool night air, and the solitude. The forest near my house had been my go-to spot for years. Familiar trails and whispering trees felt like old friends. But that night, as I walked deeper into the woods, I couldn't shake off a growing sense of unease. The usual chorus of nocturnal creatures seemed muted, replaced by an oppressive silence. As I ventured further, I noticed a shadowy figure ahead. At first, I thought it was a trick of the light, but as I drew closer, I could see the figure more clearly. It was a man standing utterly still, almost unnaturally so. His face was obscured by the shadows, but those eyes glinted with a cold, unsettling light. Against my better judgment, I called out to him, asking if he needed help. No response. The silence seemed to press in on me, growing heavier with each passing second. My heartbeat thundered in my ears, but something compelled me to step closer. As I reached out, my hand trembling, the man finally moved. He turned slowly, his eyes now locking onto mine. Just as I was about to touch him, a beam of moonlight broke through the canopy, illuminating the figure fully. To my shock, it wasn't a man at all. It was a scarecrow dressed in tattered clothes, its eyes glowing eerily in the moonlight. Relief washed over me, followed by a wave of confusion. Who would place such a thing here, in the middle of the forest? I took a step back, my mind racing to make sense of it all. As I turned to leave, the silence was shattered by a low, whispering voice. "Stay," it said, sending chills down my spine. I spun around, but the forest was empty except for the scarecrow. My breath caught in my throat as I realized the glowing eyes were now following my every move. Panic surged through me. I broke into a run, branches clawing at my clothes and skin as I reached through the trees. The forest seemed to close in around me, the path that was once familiar now a twisted maze. Behind me, I could hear footsteps, heavy and relentless, nearing my own desperate sprint. I stumbled into a clearing, my breath ragged. In the center stood an ancient, gnarled tree, its roots twisted and sinister. The footsteps stopped. I turned, expecting to see the scarecrow, but the clearing was empty. Just as I thought I was safe, a hand clamped down on my shoulder. I screamed and turned only to see myself, a mirror image, eyes wide with terror. In that instant, I understood. The forest had played a cruel trick. I was now the scarecrow, rooted to the spot, my eyes glowing with the same eerie light. My double smiled, suddenly backing away as the realization dawned on me. The forest had claimed another victim, and I was trapped, destined to watch, silent and immobile, as the next unsuspecting soul ventured into the woods. The forest returned to its oppressive silence, and as dawn broke, the woods seemed almost peaceful. Almost, for deep within, another scarecrow waited, eyes glowing, watching for the next curious wanderer to stray too far from the path.